Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, moviepilot.com, or YouTube itself. What up, world? So, it is July. It is movie talk, man. As I tease in practically every review, I really didn't decide on what to talk about until like 20 minutes ago, an hour max, because I was leaning towards because Spider-Man Homecoming came out. I was leaning towards doing my top 10 favorite reboots. I couldn't really narrow it down to 10 reboots that I thought were list worthy. While I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot. I don't know if it's list worthy. There was like Fantastic Four, Vacation, Ghostbusters, which I liked. I own all three, but they're not necessarily list worthy. They're not up there with the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Casino Royales, Batman Begins, Star Trek '09, and even Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. were all movies that would have made the list. I was teetering between having two different Spider-Man movies on there. So then my backup plan was Michael Keaton. And man, Michael Keaton was my first favorite actor ever. Now I don't really have a favorite actor ever. I like a lot of different actors. Michael Keaton is still one of them, of course. That's why he gets the video. And he was also in Spider-Man Homecoming. So let's do this. At number 10, I got Cars. And while a lot of people are like, Cars isn't list worthy, the first Cars is a good movie. And Michael Keaton played, what was his name, like Chick Hicks, the green race car. He was a great foil, man. His voice work was real dope. Like Lightning McQueen, his like catchphrase, "Ka-chow." Michael Keaton would come through, "Ka-chigga, ka-chigga," and it was between him, the villain. Owen Wilson was Lightning McQueen, the rookie, and the OG, the king. And for voice work, man, I really dig what Michael Keaton did with Cars. At number 9, I got what some may refer to as the McDonald's movie, and that's The Founder. I think at first it was supposed to come out almost a year ago, and it got pushed back, probably for Oscar contention. I don't know if it got an Oscar run, but it came out like wide in January of this year, and then I had to blind buy the Blu-ray because it didn't come to my theater. Michael Keaton plays the dude who got credit for founding McDonald's, the founder, and see, it's a fairly recent movie, so I don't want to go too heavy into spoilers, but he doesn't found McDonald's in the most moral way possible. He visits the dudes who really created McDonald's, and he sees a gold mine and does some grimy things. At number 8, maybe a little low for some of you guys, but at number 8 I got Beetlejuice. You can call this his breakout role, and like looking through his filmography, I'm not the biggest Tim Burton guy. I think all the Tim Burton movies I like, with aside one or two aside, are probably on this list. Performances are the why I couldn't leave this off the list. Like Michael Keaton is hilarious as Beetlejuice, fully in makeup. If he's miniature, if he's full size, if he's tricking Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, if he's tricking Winona Ryder, if he's got a shrunken head, Beetlejuice is hilarious. I've lost hope in the way too long rumored sequel. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but we'll always have Beetlejuice the animated series that I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton didn't have nothing to do with. So this is my favorite Tim Burton movie where he didn't put Michael Keaton in a rubber suit. Spoiler alert for later on in the video. At number 7, I got The Other Guys, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and they're cops. They're the other guys, man. They're not the action hero cops, but they're thrown into that world. And Michael Keaton plays the police captain who has a side job at like Bed Bath and Beyond or some shit. It's hilarious. Just his scenes where he's got to chew their asses because they messed something up. It just adds to it, man. Michael Keaton is funny, man. Like now that he's like started his run at Oscar chasing, like he's like the way that like LeBron recently and then Kevin Durant now started ring chasing. Michael Keaton started Oscar chasing, man, with movies like Birdman, Spotlight, and The Founder to a certain degree. People forget how funny Michael Keaton can be. At number 6, I got probably the most underrated movie on this list, one of the most underrated comedies of the 90s, hands down, and that's Multiplicity. Michael Keaton he's a construction worker. He's married to Andy McDowell. I want to say that this movie is directed by Harold Ramis. And Michael Keaton, he plays a construction worker, man, and he's just swamped with life, man. Work, wife, kids. And he comes across this doctor, and he clones himself. And then he clones himself again. And each clone has a different portion of his personality. And then there ends up being 4 total Michael Keatons. And it's hilarious. Like, I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, man, I don't understand how anybody wouldn't think it's funny. Definitely watch it. At number 5, I got Batman Returns. Some people might argue it should be higher, but for me, it's number 5. After Batman 89 was so successful, I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers instantly wanted another one. And I think it was supposed to come out in like 91, but Tim Burton was too busy with Edward Scissorhands at the time or something. And then, you know what? The way that, I mean, it was like history in the making, so it wasn't like they were doing every movie together at the time. But I'm surprised that Tim Burton didn't try to shoehorn Johnny Depp into Batman Returns as like the Scarecrow or some shit. But it is Batman, the Bat, like you've seen the posters, man. The Bat, the Cat, the Penguin. I love Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I love Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I'm pretty sure that the Tim Burton Batman movies inspired a lot of the look and style for Batman the Animated Series. Christopher Walken as Max Schreck, who, if I'm not mistaken, was originally supposed to be Two-Face. I forget what the rumor was about Christopher Walken's character. Marlon Wayans was originally supposed to be Robin, but there were like too many characters, so they tried to save him for Batman Forever or something like that. It's a worthy sequel, not better than the original in my opinion. I don't think anybody ever complained that Batman Returns had too many villains, but I mean, Danny Elfman's score, man. I will always be upset at the backlash that this movie got for being too dark. And it's what led to Joel Schumacher replacing Tim Burton and Michael Keaton having the self-respect to turn down what I think would have been like the highest payday for any actor in history at the time because he didn't like the script. Rene Russo was originally Chase Meridian in Batman Forever, and she got replaced when Val Kilmer stepped in. But once again, man, Batman Returns is dope as hell. At number 4, man, I got Jackie Brown. And Pam Grier is a flight attendant smuggling some things. Quentin Tarantino's like 3rd ever directed movie. Michael Keaton plays a cop who brings her in for questioning. Sets up a sting against Samuel L. Jackson. In my opinion, Quentin Tarantino's most underrated movie. It's real dope. It's based on an Elmore Leonard novel. And fun fact, in an uncredited performance, Michael Keaton plays the exact same character in Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro, Bridget Fonda, Robert Forster. The stellar cast, man. Chris Tucker. Like I said, an underrated gem from Quentin Tarantino, man. At number 3, I got the movie that inspired the list, man. Spiderman Homecoming. After the quick glimpse of Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War, he gets his own movie in the MCU. And once again, it's a recent movie, so I won't go too much in it, man. Just know that Michael Keaton gives one of the best MCU villain performances in all 16 movies, man. What the fuck? The Vulture, Adrian Toomes, from the opening scene, they explain his motivations against the Avengers, against Tony Stark, against Iron Man. And, you know, since they're off, for lack of a better description, they're off Thanos prepping or Infinity War prepping, and they don't even know about it. Spider-Man handles it. and there's a twist in the movie that was pretty good. I would not be mad if there was, in one way or another, we saw Michael Keaton again in a Spider-Man movie. And at number 2, I got what is a smaller role for Michael Keaton, but he still stands out, man, and that's Toy Story 3. He plays a Ken doll who obviously is smitten with Barbie, but he's a part of like the coalition at this daycare that want to keep Buzz Lightyear and Woody and Andy's toys, keep them down, keep them with the little kids. But he and they make so many jokes, man. Like with his wardrobe when like they're interrogating him, like man, that shit is funny, man. If you haven't guessed it, man, my favorite Michael Keaton movie, my number 1 is the 1989 Batman. I was 3 years old. It was my favorite movie when I first saw it. It's still one of the best comic book movies ever, in my opinion. Top 25, top 30. I don't know exactly where I have it on my list. I mean, there's bits and pieces of an origin story. Just it was the 1989 Batman was Batman Begins before Batman Begins. Man, it set the bar for comic book movies at that time. It changed the game as far as superhero movies on screen. Just all the backlash about Michael Keaton as Batman, and he knocked it out of the park. Jack Nicholson was great as the Joker. It was a perfect movie for that time. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say, man. It still holds up. Kim Basinger is great as Vicky Vale. Michael Goff. Michael Goff. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He played Alfred. He's the connecting fiber between Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Because they never recast Alfred. So, in my opinion, that puts all 4 of those movies in the same world. Prince on the soundtrack. I mean, I love that. The parade. Come on, you gruesome son of a bitch. Come to me. Come on. And he shoots the Batwing out of the sky, man. I can still quote it. And I haven't even seen it in a year or so. I don't even know, man. But it's one of those movies you could just pop on at any time and just let it ride. That's my list, man. 10 through 1. You'll notice chasing movies didn't make my list. I've seen Birdman. I think it's fine. Performances are great. Direction's great. The ending is weird as hell. But overall, I think it's a little overrated. Didn't make the list. And I still haven't seen Spotlight. It might be one that I watch pretty soon. I could have saved this video until September because he's got American Assassin coming out too. And it's dope to me that like he kind of broke out doing nerd, Beetlejuice, comic book Batman movies. And now that he's aged and now that he's older, he's still humble enough to come back to what put him on and do Spider-Man. I've always loved Michael Keaton, man. Even when he started doing like First Daughter and Jack Frost, like I always thought Michael Keaton was a good actor. So, what are some of your favorite Michael Keaton movies? Real interested to hear what y'all got to say. Next month, I mean, there's no debate, there's no tug of war in my mind. My August movie talk, even if it's a little later, maybe even beginning of September, my August movie talk will be my 5 favorite movies of summer. Before I get up out of here, man, I'm still trying to slang these Ripped Apparel t-shirts, man. Dope pop culture mashup t-shirts. That's some of their recent sales right there. I got on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Incredible Hulk mashup. Dope as hell, man. Peruse the site. The link in the description, discount code in the description, man. Check those out. I've recently posted reviews for Atomic Blonde, for the Emoji Movie, for Dunkirk, for War for the Planet of the Apes, Spiderman Homecoming, recent Blu-ray collection update, a recent last month's movie talk video. There's not a lot I want to see in August, man. I'm going to see The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. That looks hilarious. I'm on the fence about Logan Lucky, man. There's just something about Daniel Craig's performance in the trailers that bothers me. There's something about Channing Tatum's performance in the trailers that bother me too. So I don't know if I'm going to watch that one. And then we'll be in September, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me? Watch these credits. Peace.